Alrighty, welcome everybody. I've done everything for you. We're going to cover both versions. I started out with the Sammy Hagar, got the red rocker here. My Epiphone plays wonderful, has a little bit skinnier neck than I like, but it's okay. Love the Cardinal Red. Anyhow, this is the studio version, which Sammy actually released, I think, live before he put it out in the studio version. His secondhand guitar that played through most of his solo albums, his name's Gary Peel, P-H-I, maybe A-L. It's phonetically, it doesn't spell like it's pronounced, and that's Wikipedia, thank you. Anyhow, Gary does some great licks. I had to look up who was playing on this. There's just some nice little intricacies that I think really add to this song. And then of course we'll cover the Rick Springfield version, which Neil Giraldo actually played bass and guitar on. So we're going to cover both. I've written them out. My notes will be right below the video to click on and download. Both songs are in standard tuning, so we don't have to change any tuning, just get in standard tuning, and we'll go over the Sammy first and then the Rick. Okay, so the song starts out with an E to B chord. We're going to use an E fourth, so we'll be on the 4th string, 2nd fret, 3rd string at the 4th fret. Now I noticed, because I watched live videos also of how Sammy and Phil played this, Sammy tended to do it up here. E on the 5th and the 4th and 3rd string to the 5th and 4th string. Alright, but I think it makes more sense, and this is where I see Phil playing it up here in the 1st position, and I say makes more sense just for us single guitars. When you have 2 guitars, of course, you can do that, like Kiss does. They don't play the same chords. Ace and Paul, they play the same chords, but I should say the same chord positions. They always do them in different positions. That fills out the song and adds to it. So, with that said, we've got our E to B, and just use the 4th and 3rd string at the 4th fret for the B, the first, let's see, quarter measure. Again. Then go to the full chords. Alright, after we go to the full chord, then we start in with the rhythm. It's basically a palm muted E power chord. We'll do it 3 sets of 4 counts and then 2 more counts on the E before we hit a B. Now, when Sammy hits this, you'll hear him hit the B and slide down. The other guitar, right away, because Sammy then goes back into the rhythm, and I wrote this out in my notes, that this next chord, the E, is part of the next measure. So you'll hear this. Let me do the E chugs to the B, and then that E that begins the next measure. And that E off the 4th, or, you know, if you play it up here at the 7th fret, has a lot of echo as he slides it down. It's pretty much true for the rest of the song, at least in the studio version. Alright, so to finish out this, and you can do it that way. So I just go for that E real quick and then start into the next part, which is basically what we did with the E. We'll do 3 sets of 4, 2 more, and then a B. And slide down, but he doesn't hit the E there. So in the intro, E comes once to slide off with the echo, and the second time when he hits B, there's no E after it, all right? So I'm going to do it again with the echoed E into the last half measure of the intro. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and then we're into the verse. So the verse starts out, basically what we're going to do is 4 sets of the E, palm muted, 4 counts. And then we move to B, palm muted. You can just hit the 1 string, that's fine. I added the 4 there because sometimes they do hit the 4 string. Alright, so he's going to do 3 sets of 4 with that B, and then 2 more before hitting the B, and then the E off. Alright, so that's the first measure of verse 1, and we repeat that up to the B. We're only going to do 2 sets of 4 count and then 2 more hits, and I'll show you what changes. All right. So the second measure of the verse, we've got 4 sets of 4 with the E, 2 sets of the B, then 2 more B. Then we do this. This is a really nice little fill that Gary Peel adds. So what he does off of that B note is he's going to hit, so we hit the 2nd fret to the 4th fret, back to the 2nd fret, to the 5th fret, back to the 2nd fret, and then the 4th fret. Oops, there's no 2 at the end. Then we go to an A. And we're ending the verse kind of like a pre-chorus. We'll hit the A 4 times. To a B 4 times. Then we're into the chorus. So that second measure of verse 1 with that little walk-up lick. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, we're into the chorus. So for chorus 1, we're going to do our E-B lick. We'll do that and then into an A twice and then a nice little fill. So, of course, one of the guitars doesn't do that. It just lets the A ring and then hit a B, as you'll see. But this lick is definitely there, and it's cool to play. So, if you're like me, one guitar, I really like doing this. So, chorus 1 will start out like this. Alright, so we know the E to B. Then we'll hit A twice. Then we go to the 4th fret of the 5th string. And then we come to the 4th string. We'll hit the 1st fret, slide into 2. And then the B. Where Sammy's just hitting. Alright, so we have this with the lick. That will repeat. Then he goes into this. And leads us into verse 2. So after we've gone through that half measure, the chorus with the licks to B, we come in with the bottom half in an E power chord through the 4th string, and then lift up or pick the first 2 strings. And then we're going to do a B, hit twice real quickly, and then 3 more times. I've done nothing 4. Back to our E, lower half, then the upper half. Upper half rings a little bit longer, and then we go to our B, and then the E with the echo slid off. Alright, we're into verse 2. Verse 2 is exactly like we learned with verse 1. Alright. Verse 3 is different. There's a key change, so we'll talk about that when we get to it. But that's verse 1, chorus 1, verse 2, just like verse 1. Then we're into chorus 2. So now chorus 2, we don't do a B at the end of it. We just let the E's ring at the end, and then we start in with the bridge. Alright, so I'll play chorus 2 for you slowly. It'll go through twice with the nice little lick into a B, and then an E to a B. Everything, I've done everything for you, and then E. Alright, so we got chorus 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. To bridge. The bridge, there's only one bridge. So what he does in the bridge, it's basically the lead part. Alright, and you'll hear him do this. Alright, so I'm going to stop at that point. What we're going to do is on the 3rd string, probably about the 2nd fret, and the 2nd string, and about the 1st fret, slide up to 3 and 4. 3 on the 2nd, 4 on the 3rd. Then letting that 4 ring, we're going to hit that 2nd string again, but we put our middle finger down on 5. I'm sorry. Then we strike 4 again on the 3rd string with the slide back to 2, and then a pull off to open. Come back to the 4th string, hit 2, and then open. Alright, so up to that point we have this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then to end this first half measure, we're going to hammer in from the open 3rd string to the 1st fret, hit that lower half. This would be like an E chord. Then we'll hit the bottom half, the 6th through the 4th, and then the top half again. And that top half will ring together for about 4 counts. Alright? So up to that point, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, at that point, we're into, again, it's still the bridge, but we go into an F sharp here. We haven't done that chord. It's really just a power chord hit 4 times. To an A power chord. Back to our lower E and then upper E. Then what he does is hit the lower E 3 times. And I really think he pulls off between, so it's more of a... Then the upper half again. My apologies, my E and B sounded out of tune, so I paused and retuned it. So let's go over the first measure of the bridge at a medium speed, and you can see how everything fits together. 1, 2, 3, 4. the second measure, we're going to do the F sharp again 4 times. A 4 times. To our lower half E and then top half. And then our little E off and then back on. Top half. Now the second half of this second measure, the bridge, what it does is hold the F sharp for 8 counts. So it's 8 hits before it goes to an A for 4 and then B for 4. Alright, at that point we're into chorus 3. Play through chorus 3, you'll see there's just one lower E to upper E at the end and then a B, and then we're into verse 3. So it's slightly shorter. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. He hits that B, now we're into verse 3, and he changes the key. And basically he's gone to an F sharp rather than E. So everything's moved up a full step. Of course, instead of 2 to 2, we'll be at 4 to 4. All right, so we start out basically 8 chugs on the F sharp. And then we move to a C sharp. So we'll do 3 sets of 4 chugs, 2, and then hit that actual C sharp chord. And if you want, you'll hear the, let's see, that will be an F sharp 4th root. Slide down with echo, but again, it's up to you. It's really not that prominent in this third verse. All right, so let me just go from the top, and I'll take it slowly so you can see how it changes and where the chord comes in. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so we've done that little F sharp and then the, or I'm sorry, C sharp to F sharp, slide down, and we're back into the second half of the measure, which is really F sharp with 8 counts and then C sharp with 8 counts. All right, then we start out, we come back to B, 4 counts, and then C sharp 4 counts. So it's our pre-chorus leading us into the chorus. So the second half of the measure of verse 3. Then we're into chorus 4, which takes us out of the song. Okay, so for chorus 4, which leads us out of the song, we're going to switch to the F sharp on the 4th root and 3rd string at 6, 4th string at 4, up to C sharp. All right, we'll do that 4 times before coming back to a B. When we go to the B, he still does the lick, so we're going to have to do a pinky stretch on the 5th string. I will show you that, and then we'll go over it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so as you saw, we went from the F sharp to C sharp, back to B. Then we reach up to the 6th fret on the 5th string and grab the 4th string at the 3rd fret, slide up to 4, and then we're in position to grab our C sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4. he'll do that with the lick twice, and then we are into really the final measure. So the final measure, just like we played the bottom half of an E to the top half, we're going to do that with an F sharp. Then we go into, this will be C sharp, 4th root, 5th string, 6th fret, 4th string, and it'll be 2 hits and then 3 hits. Nothing for you. Back to our F sharp, lower half, then upper half. And then, this is where Sammy varies a little bit from Rick Springfield's, or Sammy's version varies from Rick Springfield's version. He's going to hit the C sharp twice, twice, stop, again, again, stop, and then 2 and 3. And then he ends it on an F sharp. All right, so that very last measure, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the Sammy version. We'll go over Rick next. So the Rick Springfield version, we've got a different beginning. God bless his heart, Neil Giraldo does some real nice octave licks and just kind of pumps up the song a little bit more. So we're going to start out with a B. We'll be adding 6th and 7th to that B reference on the 4th and 3rd string. So it starts out like this. So what we're doing will be on the 4th and 3rd string. Now, I wrote it out with the 4th throughout, but it's really kind of, you add the 3rd string more as you bring up or play through this. So we're going to be at 4 on both the 4th and 3rd string. Then we'll add the 6th fret, then 7th fret, back to 6, back to 7. And the count is on the 2 4s. 1, 2, 3. Then we'll add the 6. 1, 2, 3. 7. 1, 2, 3. Back to 6. 1, 2, 3. Then 7. 1, 2. And then 6, 1, 2. Repeat it. So it's the 7 and 6 that come back that are just hit twice. We'll do that again. Like I said, we bring in the 3rd string a little bit more. Then we kick off the last half measure of this intro with 3 muted hits on the E string to the upper half. Back to that E. All right. Then we do it again. Quickly to a B. Repeat that. I'm sorry. And that takes us into verse 1. So for verse 1, there's this first measure has a real nice technique to it and a real nice octave walk down. So it'll sound like this. All right, I'll just stop there. So what we're doing is 3 muted hits on that 6th string before we hit the top half back to the upper half. So just keep an E chord fretted, and we'll do then the top half, lower half, and top half again. Then we come to the B. We're going to hit B once, and then the B note before the B chord again. We'll do the note and chord twice. Then we do the octave walk down. So this will be the B note on the 5th string, 2nd fret, to the 3rd string, 4th fret. Move that down one more time before we go to the 6th string at 3rd fret with a slight pull down, and then start over. All right, so that will repeat twice. For 4 counts, to a B, hold that for 4 counts, then we're into the chorus. Okay, for chorus 1, we've got more of a rhythm chorus than Sammy, which had that nice little lick in there, so we're going to do our basic E to B and A to B chords. So we're going back and forth from our E 4th root to B. We'll hit A twice, then B twice, and then B 4 more times. And then we go into it again. We do our little muted notes on the 6th string, 3 hits before we go to the top half of the E chord, back to E, then again, quickly to another B chord, power chord, and then we're into verse 2. All right, verse 2 is exactly like verse 1. Then we're into chorus 2. Now chorus 2 is just slightly different because we do go into the bridge after that. So the difference is, just like we've learned this chorus, the last half, rather than hitting our bottom half and top half E, we just hit the E for a total of 4 counts of 4. And then there's one final E. So chorus 2 will sound like this, slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the bridge starts. Okay, we're to bridge 1 now. Well, really, this is the only bridge. The first measure repeats twice. So I'm going to play the half measure, and then again, like I said, it will repeat. So we're going to do this. So we're going to hit the F sharp power chord 3 times, and then the 4th time will be a down up. Same with the A. Then we do our 3 hits on the muted 6th string to the top half, bottom half, top half. again. And like I said, it'll repeat. Then the second half of this bridge the F sharp will go twice as long, all right, to an A and then a B. Then we're into chorus 3. Chorus 3 will sound like this. Chorus 3 will sound like this. Chorus 3 will sound like this. Into the solo. Okay, this song, Neil does do a solo, and really some cool licks. A little play on Chuck Berry, which I think is really cool to add to your arsenal, but we'll go into that after all the rhythm. So the solo rhythm is going to be 4 sets, 4 hits of an E power chord. We'll repeat that. B for 4 sets of 4 hits, back to E. Alright, then we're to B, and we'll do that for 1 set. And then we go to A for 1 set and back to B for a set. Alright, and then we're into chorus 4. So after the solo rhythm, chorus 4 is just like we've learned other choruses with our top and lower half E's at the end. I'll play through it once for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. We are into verse 3, which is palm muted and takes us into the key change. So verse 3 is where we change keys here. Again, we've gone through different choruses and a bridge, but what we call verse 3 is a key change. So we're going to be moving up to our F sharp and C sharp. It'll be 4 counts of 4 muted hits. Twice. The second time, there's a little change in it. So I'm going to play it and then I'll show you the nuance. So the difference is we use an open E string after the C sharp. So 4 hits on the F sharp twice. 4 sets of 4 on the F sharp. Move to C sharp. Then hit the open E, and we'll come back to F sharp for the rest. Alright, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we continue on 3 more sets. We go to C sharp for 3 sets of 4. Then we hit the C sharp twice. Alright, the second half of this verse, we'll come back to a B for a set of 4 sets and 4 counts, and then up to our F sharp for a half or 2 sets of 4 counts, back to our C sharp for a half or 2 sets of 4. And that takes us into chorus 5, which again we've changed keys, so we've gone up a full step. So rather than playing E, we're going to be going up to F sharp, and instead of B, we'll be at C sharp. Then we go to B. So the difference in the Rick Springfield and the way Neil Giraldo plays it is he's going to hit the next chord, in this case B to C sharp. He'll hit twice and then 4 times rather than 3, which is in the Sammy. Alright, so sounds odd, but it fits in with the timing of the way they did the song. Alright, so up to that C sharp, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, and then we do that one more time. Back to our C sharp, so that's from F sharp. Again. So this is ending the song, alright? So I've done, and then the 4th fret, the C sharp, twice, and then 4 times. Again. So we stop at 2 counts each here on the C sharp. Again. One more time. And then you have this wonderful little ending walk up. Alright, so what we're doing there, 6th string, 2nd fret, 3 hits. 1st string, 5th fret, 3 hits to the 2nd fret and 4th fret. And then he jumps up and he hits an E, F sharp, I'm sorry, E, F, and then F sharp. And slides off. So that is the ending of the song. Just a great version. We'll go over the solo next and then you'll have it. So the solo for this starts out 1st position. It's kind of buried in the mix before it comes out a little bit. You're almost surprised that there's a solo. I was, frankly. I mean, I was like, oh, okay, here it is. But anyhow, we're going to start out on the 4th string from open to 2, twilling, and then we'll catch the 4th string 2 to open and the 5th string 2 to open. And then just hit the open 1st string. So next next we have this really nice little takeoff on a kind of Chuck Berry style lick, but it's wonderfully done. We'll do this like basically 4 times, the 4 times a little shorter with a hold on 14, but we're going to be up at the 12th position. Alright, so without playing it really fast, what we're doing is bending up 14 on the 3rd string, catching the 2nd string at 12 to the 1st string, back to the 2nd string. Then we go 15 to 12 on the 2nd string, back to the 1st string at 12 and the 2nd string at 12. So we have this all together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Repeat. One more time. The last time, once we hit 12 on the 2nd string coming back, we'll just hit 14 bent with some vibrato and then slide off. Alright, then he starts, that's the first 2 measures of the solo. Then he starts again with that lick, and he'll do it 2 times full, and the 3rd time shorter with a couple 14s. Alright, at that point we're going to move up to the 16th fret on the 3rd string, bend that up and catch 17. We'll do that 4 times. Then 2 more hits on 16, bent up on the 3rd string. Then he moves it up to 18, bent up and catching 19 3 times. Then he comes back and he's going to catch on the 1st string 13, 2nd string 13, and 15 on the 3rd string with a unison bend. We'll do that, move it up a step to 15 and 17, and then a step and a half to 18 and 20. And slide off. That is a solo. So it's done. Like I said, it's very fast, but it's well played, and it's Neil Giraldo. So God bless him. I really hope this helps everybody playing this song. Of course, my notes will help. So I really hope you enjoy.